we've been awarding the Distinguished Neutral of the Year award each year since 2017, when our friend E.J. Bowman was the inaugural winner. I'm delighted to present the Canada's 2022 award to a true ADR pioneer and someone who's committed himself to conflict resolution since the mid-80s in his home state of Florida, Mr. Larry Watson. A graduate of the University of Florida College of Law in '69, Larry joined the Orlando office of Carlson Fields, where he developed a flourishing trial practice. After his exposure to arbitration and special master procedures as an advocate, happy to say in the mid-80s, Larry was one of the very first attorneys in the state of Florida to train in the then fledgling field of civil mediation, eventually becoming certified by the Florida Supreme Court at the inception of its ADR program in '88. Following this certification, Larry developed a busy practice as a state and federal court mediator, specializing in multi-party, complex commercial cases. Eventually, of course, Larry joined forces with John Upchurch, Terry White, and Rodney Max in the mid-90s to become one of the name partners of what would become Florida's largest statewide ADR firm, Upchurch, Watson, White, and Max. I personally think of them as the Beatles of ADR. I'll leave you chaps to argue over who's Ringo. Over the years, Larry's reputation for excellence has led him to mediating contentious disputes in more than 24 states, as well as taking him abroad to the UK and the Caribbean. Several of those contentious disputes have been in the billions with a B of dollars. In addition to acting as a mediator, Larry has also served as settlement counsel, providing claims management consultation and designing claims processes for public and private organizations. At the risk of embarrassing Larry outside the Ringo gag, at the risk of embarrassing Larry, we did speak with a few of the attorneys who've worked with him over the last decade or two. He's been variously described as a world-class neutral, our perennial first choice for bet the company cases, incredibly engaging, patient and deliberate, as well as highly effective in the most challenging of cases. So, Larry's a pretty good mediator, we've got that down pat, we know that. It's with a view to his service to the public sphere and to the ADR community that Larry really got. I'm also delighted, everybody so far has been California and New York. It's about time Florida, as the originating state, was on the map. So for those that don't know, Florida is ground zero for court-mandated mediation in North America. Court-mandated mediation was introduced in '87, almost a decade ahead of most other states that have embraced ADR in the years since. And a pioneering state needs thought leaders that can help lay down the trail for others to follow. Appointed by the Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court, Larry became the long-standing chairman of the court's Standing Committee on Mediation and Arbitration Rules of Procedure. As chairman from 1989 to 1994, Larry oversaw the creation of the statutes and procedural rules controlling the mediation process, as well as the ethical standards for the conduct of professional mediators practicing in Florida. And then, in between his mediation practice, his role as a principal at UWM, and his work on the Standing Committee, Larry recognized early on the need for professionals in this fledgling community of civil commercial practitioners to come together, to share their experiences and learn from one another. Something then of a forerunner to our own National Academy, Larry was one of the founding members of the American College of Civil Trial Mediators since '95. In recognition of his services to the ADR community, Larry has previously been recognized by the Florida's Dispute Resolution Center with an Outstanding Achievement Award. In 2000, he received the Florida Academy of Professional Mediators Award of Merit, and in 2007, the American College of Civil Trial Mediators awarded Larry a Lifetime Achievement Award. In recognition then of almost 40 years as a trailblazer in the field of civil and commercial mediation, ladies and gentlemen of the Academy, please be upstanding and join me in congratulating Larry Watson, our Distinguished Neutral of the Year.
said I'd get a hat. Well, yeah, I really want the hat. John Salmon's heard this before. This award is very special to me, very special. And let me tell you why. My family is filled with very talented theater people. My sister is the head of the musical theater department at FSU. She holds nationally recognized musical theater showcases in New York. My brother's a principal actor, director, producer in Maine Little Theater, which is very big up there. I have an uncle who danced in West Side Story on Broadway, founder of Southern Ballet Theater. I have a nephew who is a principal dancer and choreographer with the Hamburg National Ballet. My nephew, another nephew, danced with the New York City Ballet and the Joffrey. My son is a very talented sports broadcaster, television with ESPN, Fox Sports, and Golf Channel. Like I said, a very bunch of talented theater people. And they don't let me forget that I can't carry a tune in a bucket, and that my dance moves have been likened to random lurching. Yet, because of you good people, in this very special award, I am the first one in my family that's ever had the opportunity to stand before a distinguished audience like this and say, I want to thank the members of the Academy. Thanksgiving dinner this year. And while I'm thanking people, of course, my wife Lynn, 57 years we've been together. Graduate, trial law, mediation, and now this full support, shoulder to shoulder, and I wouldn't be here without her. In regard to this award, I'm not sure she'd agree that I'm particularly distinguished, unless that means old. And I know I'm pretty certain she wouldn't regard me as neutral about anything. But she knows I'm thankful. I'm thankful too to my partners, John Upchurch, Terry White, Rod, Max. We kind of caught the crest of ADR back in 1987. John came in from the bench as one of the youngest trial judges in the history of Florida Judicial. I came in from the bar as president of the Florida Bar Trial Lawyers section. We met in the middle and became mediators in 1997. And we've been riding the crest of that wave ever since as Upchurch, Watson, White, and Max. Under John's entrepreneurial passion, we now have a panel of 48 mediators, dozens of employees, people around, I don't know what they do. nine offices, and frankly, our name's on far too many leases for just one of our age. And as Darren mentioned, we did plow new fields in '97. We did draft the first set of comprehensive procedural rules for mediation, ethical standards, grievance procedures, and mediation tactics, techniques, all along where we're mediating cases and kind of learning by doing. I wrote an article one time about some of those tactics and sent it off, and they came back and said, it's good stuff over without the pleasure, but could you give us some footnotes and some sources? You got it? Okay, footnote number 1. Well, I tried it seemed to work. Or Terry White told me to give it a whirl, and I did, and it came out okay. Lots of people back then sort of took shots at us for getting so far out ahead on the mediation process, but as Josh Stuhlberg, who is a national pioneer in ADR, once said, Florida, people are taking shots at you, but they're all at your back. Keep going. And we did. And we've come a long way, but it's not as far as we can go in this business we're in. There's a lot of fields yet to plow. There's a lot of new stuff yet to do. Very tuned into mediated case management. The concept of bringing the mediator in at the beginning of the lawsuit, create a team to mediate the conduct of the litigation, so that you facilitate a work program with the mediator, the lawyers, and the judge to develop the information you need to adjudicate the case, but also develop the information you need to settle the case, and let settlement have a chance to happen first. On that note, elegant arbitration. with an agreed strong process control arbitrator, working with counsel to simplify and streamline the arbitration procedures, and create a cost-effective, timely way. We need to put the commercial value back into the arbitration process. Hybrid the need arb and the arb need and non-binding arbitration and guided choice, adversary focus groups, expert panels, all being developed, all need your attention, need your work to expand dispute resolution platforms. And then finally, the technological advantages that we're looking at, the Zoom, the GoToMeeting, the virtual platforms to get us to a adjudicatory point or to a reconciliation point quicker. When Zoom first came out, my thing was, yeah, well, Zoom's great until it's not. I'd lose people, I'd put people in the wrong room, I would endanger the missile defense system of the United States. But we're learning, it's getting better, and it's got a long way to go. It's been fun getting to where we are, but there's so much more to do, and this group, the National Academy of Distinguished Neutrals, is the national leaders in that effort, are the ones to be out in the forefront. So once again, I want to thank the members of the Academy. I love saying that. This award for what you do and for what you will be doing. Thank you.